Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit True of My Chest and it's by user DiligentStand3748. I saw my stepmom's Reddit account and found out that she hates me and my siblings. I'm really pissed off and want to vent. I even cried reading the things she said, and I know what to do. I don't need any advice. I just want to vent. My father has been married to my stepmother for 5 years. He has been divorced from my mother since my younger brother was less than 2 years old. There is no beef between them and they have a good co-parenting relationship. I have a 17-year-old sister, a 16-year-old brother, and I'm 25. My father also has a 3-year-old son with my stepmother. I found a Reddit account in a pretty random way. Since I'm usually only home on the weekends, I let her use my computer and she forgot to log out of her account. She doesn't post too much, but she comments a lot. I was honestly going to log out for her, but it caught my attention that all the replies were from a step-parents subreddit, so curiosity won me over. I know, it's not a good thing to do, and curiosity killed the cat. The first thing I saw was her last post in which she detailed things about my life. She was criticizing my decisions and even lying to get people to support her. She's just effing crazy. She has posts on that site talking about how happy she feels when my siblings are not at home. My sister adores her, but stepmom has comments talking about how she can't wait for my siblings to turn 18 and leave the house because she just wants to share the house with her family, my father and her toddler. It seems that she doesn't see us as her family. She has a lot of comments answering other people that it's totally okay to not love your stepchildren because they're not family and it's okay not to consider them one. I understand that she can feel that way, but then why does she make my sister believe that she is her second mother if she hates that so much? She has comments talking about how much it bothers her when my dad and brother have sleepovers. They just watch TV in the playroom and then go to sleep. She says she's tired of hearing the laughter of a teenager and can't wait until we all leave the house so my father can be with his legal family. I thought it was crazy how legal family was repeated so much in that sub, full of posts of people talking that way. But what she hates the most is having to learn sign language for my little sister. It had always seemed strange to me that stepmom still struggles with sign language, but now I know that she never really put in the effort to learn. My sister always said that for many people sign language is very difficult, so I never said anything. Stepmom simply communicates because my sister reads lips and can say a few words. But now I know that stepmom always found stupid to learn how to communicate with her. I was very surprised by the hatred she has when my father spends time with me and my sister. Her jealousy towards us is so obvious, it disgusts me that there were so many people who told her how they feel the same way about their stepdaughters. It got to the point of sexualizing the interactions between father and daughter, like feeling jealous when we're in the pool with him. It's disgusting how there were so many people saying they feel the same. My siblings are not problem children. They even like her a lot, and what fills me with anger the most is that she is so false in front of us. Maybe I would understand this behavior if we had a bad relationship, but she has never shown that dislike towards us before. She's just so fake. Do you know the number of times I offered to babysit my half-brother so she and my dad can go on a date? All those times she refused to let me take care of him, but now I saw comments that she left about how I'm living at my father's house and I don't help her at all. Only for other people to respond saying that she should give my father an ultimatum to make me leave because I'm too old to live with him and he now has a family to take care of. I cook my food, do my laundry, I help my father pay the bills while she doesn't, and I usually only come home on the weekends because I'm doing a police academy and working almost full week. I don't even care if I'm making too obvious who I am. It was my father who told me to move back with him so that when I come back from the academy during the nights, it will be a shorter trip. She sexualizes my interactions with my father, saying that it is not normal for me to sleep a nap hugging him and that I should know my place. He is my father. What the hell is wrong with her? I'm so disgusted. I have the comments, I have the posts, I have even comments from years ago, and I will use them. I don't care. Well, OP, your stepmom definitely sucks, and I know you're not looking for any particular advice, but I would say I know you're going to expose her. I mean, at least that's what I understand from you having the posts and the comments and that you're going to use them. I would just be very careful about how I go about it if I was in your shoes. I understand that exposing her is the right thing to do, particularly because of how she talks about you guys and the type of feelings that she truly has. I would just be very careful considering your stepmom is this level of fake. I mean, we're talking about a person who to your face acts like a second mom, but secretly she hates you and wants you gone. And what do you guys think about OP's situation? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out some community comments. Assistance OK 3669 says, "This is very concerning. I would definitely screenshot and pull your dad to the side. Sure, she could be disconnected for you guys because you very much so have two parents who love you, but this is borderline hatred, which is unacceptable. Then to use that false incest accusation is effing horrible. She's not a good person and your dad should know." Mad Gear Missile Kid says, "Tell your father. She already hates you, so go ahead and give her a real reason to. I understand that sometimes people just don't get along, but that's really terrible and selfish behavior on her end. If she's considering giving your dad an ultimatum, beat her to the punch before she can move up with some sob story or cover-up. To complain about learning sign language, the sound of your brother's laugh, and sexualizing your relationship with your father? Shame on her. Your father deserves to know who he married." And Irascible says, "Show dad her posts." Additional information from OP's comments. Honestly, I would have taken the time to sit down with her and to chat about how she feels before I knew all of this. She's had years to adjust, but now I don't give a crap about the feelings of a person who says I want to F my own father and that learning sign language is a waste of her time when my sister feels bad for not being able to communicate with her too much after years. Nothing justifies being jealous of a daughter with her father. Nothing justifies her comments. It's one thing to say you're stressed and another to make up things on the internet about your stepdaughter. I have screenshots of more than 10 different posts from different months talking about the same thing and saying over and over again that she hates when I'm close to my father. So, to those that say, don't rip their lives apart for the sake of venting, since when is it venting to show my father that his spouse makes up things about us on the internet? A person may feel anxious and stressed, but what she did is something else entirely. So the majority of the community agrees that what OP is going to do is the right thing, but apparently there were some people trying to tell her not to blow up her stepmom's lives because she was just venting. But OP has receipts, so I'm still fully on board with OP. Now OP has given us 2 updates, so let's continue with the first one. "I haven't spoken to my father yet, but I spoke with my siblings and mom. I told my dad that I was staying at a friend's house when I left the academy, but I actually went to my mom's house and told her everything. She doesn't know what Reddit is. That site isn't used too much here, but I translated the comments and posts for her. I showed her the videos and my mom was furious. I explained to her that in the comments, BM, it's Madre Biológica or Biomom. I was confused about it too the first time I read it, also with SM. So my stepmom also made comments and posts complaining about my mother in spite of them always having a cordial treatment. But still, my stepmom was lying, saying that my mother was troublesome. No one in the comments said anything. Everyone supported her and they recommended that she should move far away with her legal family, far away from the problematic biomom and kids. So first we told my brother, who was also upset and said that she was a fake, but that he has seen her ignore my sister and pretend that she does not see or hear her a lot of times. He explained that, like me, it also seems strange to him that stepmom has not yet learned sign language. My siblings spend a lot of time at my father's house. Just like English or Spanish, sign language is much easier to learn if you live with someone who uses it every day. Therefore, it is strange that stepmom doesn't use it. He said that even my father has offered to pay for her classes, but she says she doesn't have time. We asked him if he noticed any other behavior of that kind, and he said that stepmom doesn't let him take care of our younger brother, which she also does with me, but curiously, she does let our sister take care of him, so I don't understand that. Other than that, she's never treated him badly or anything like that. At the time of telling my sister, she was the most hurt. She cried especially because of stepmom's comments towards me calling me a floozy. It's kind of ironic how the comments towards her affected me and the comments towards me affected her. Something that my sister noticed that I didn't is that almost all of stepmom's comments are criticizing me, my sister, and even my mother. But of my brother, she has only criticized sleepovers or when he comes back late from being with his friends. But she has criticized my and my sister's clothes, made up things about my life, confessed that she hates it when we hug our father, she said we're too clingy, she talked badly about my mother, etc. My sister said it's sexist and maybe she's got some mental problems. My sister said she always believed stepmom didn't really hear her and she maybe wasn't speaking well and didn't understand her. I think that's the crappiest thing of all. My sister's greatest pride is being able to pronounce some words no matter how short they are or if they sound like noise for some people. We understand her, but stepmom made her feel insecure every time she ignored her. I know that my sister always justified that by believing that it was her mistake and that stepmom made an effort to learn, but it was simply more difficult for her. But now we know that no, she was never interested in learning. I'm getting mad again as I write this, sorry. My mother said she was going to talk to both of them, mainly because even though it's an anonymous site, stepmom's way of expressing herself is sick and she's not going to let my siblings around someone like that. Oh, but she's venting. Being a stepmom is lonely. I received comments like that. It's not the same to say I feel lonely and I feel stressed than to say my stepdaughter behaves like a floozy just because me and my minor sister use bikinis for the pool. Her account is old. She's been leaving comments like that for years, with lies, with complaints we never heard before. It's just messed up. We arranged that we're going to tell our father all together and show him everything. So we're probably going to tell him tomorrow because I need to leave to the academy on Monday. My stepmom's account is not deleted. It's crazy how she makes things up to get approval from strangers. At this point, I don't even know if she's crazy or a mythomaniac. I would like to go back to her account since the password is saved, but I don't know if she will receive a notification of that because this time I logged her out. So OP told her family except for her dad and everyone's angry at stepmom with just cause. So now let's move on to the final update to see how this ends. We talked to my father over the weekend. For now, he is staying at my mother's house. It is a complicated situation since in the middle of everything is my half-sibling too. During the weekend, I went to my father's house and the first thing I did was tell my stepmom separately that I've seen her Reddit account and that I'm going to talk to my dad about it. She told me that I can't condemn her for something she uses as an intimate diary. I told her that it is not a diary, it is a social network where she makes her problems and lies public. If someone other than me discovered her account, then what was going to happen? Were they going to believe all the things she invented? If her identity was revealed on that account by someone else, I would have too many problems and could even be kicked out of the academy. Again, there's a big difference between saying I'm stressed and my stepdaughters behave like floozies around their father. I simply told her that my mother and sister also know about it and would come to talk about it too. She, for obvious reasons, just went to lock herself in her room, not wanting to talk with me. Once we talked to my father, I showed him most of the posts and comments. There were so many crazy comments that I think it would take me long to read them all because they were just so long. She's that kind of person who comments the bio of their lives in the posts of other people. My father got angry. My stepmom never expressed having a single problem with us like that. The situation would be different if we knew what she thinks about us. My father went to look for my stepmom, who refused to talk about it and was mostly angry with me for violating her privacy. My father told her that she's insane for thinking that my sister and I sexually provoked him, that he can't believe the way she talks about my sister and the happiness she expresses every time my sister goes to the hospital and is not at home. Also, how she expresses to be counting the days until my siblings stop going to the house forever. My father told her that she knew that he is a father and that he would never leave us aside. She made her decision, and even so, instead of talking about her problems, she decided to create an account to play at being a victim. She said she needs a place to vent, but he told her that venting is not the same as telling lies. Venting is not the same as hating your stepdaughter and talking horrible things about them, and she could have spoken about it and not just lie. They argued a lot, but it didn't get anywhere because she kept defending herself and my father only told her that it was over. My mother told my father that she is not going to let my sister and brother be around a woman who is clearly mentally unstable because no normal person thinks like that. After arguing too much and even trying to make stepmother understand that what she did is wrong, she just justified herself all the time. My father went with us and told her that he is going to come back just to see my brother every day, but that he no longer trusts her and never saw that side of her. She lied for so many years. Nothing really went as I expected because I expected her to be more mature. I think I at least hoped that she would apologize, but I think she doesn't even think that what she did is wrong. In her mind, everything was totally justified because being a stepmother is difficult, but nothing justifies her being so cruel and poisonous. So yeah, that's what happened. I think it's hurtful to know that someone can hide that much darkness inside. I wasn't too close with her, but I liked her to the point of sharing my clothes and things with her, so I also feel sad about it, mostly for my dad. Me gustaría simplemente decir que ella está demente, pero creo que eso daría espacio a justificar su comportamiento. Ella simplemente es una víbora de dos cabezas. Translation: I'd simply like to say that she's crazy, but that would just give space to justifying her behavior. She's simply a two-headed snake. Well, OP, the good thing is that the truth is out. I do feel sorry for your little brother, but he still has his dad, and hopefully your stepmom or your ex-stepmom won't make things too difficult for him to see his son. So on that note, here's wishing the best for all of you, except for your ex-stepmom. She sucks. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Plogan56. You don't want to pay the estimate? That's fine, ma'am. Enjoy your day. For context, the software development company I used to intern at uses a sheet to estimate the cost of building a certain software or update for a client. The sheet includes employees working on the project, how long they estimate it'll take, yada yada yada. After an intern goes around to the departments collecting this info from the various employees, we then calculate the cost and send it to the client to accept or reject. Note, since our company is so popular in the area, we have a pretty long queue sometimes. So if you reject the estimate, chances are you might have to wait in the queue all over again to request a new one. So the day was slow and they mostly had me man the phones and go on coffee runs, typical intern stuff. Then a client calls in saying she wants a piece of clock-in software for her employees so she can more accurately track their work hours. By this point into my internship, I had done at least 4 to 5 of these sheets, at least, and I was taught by my supervisor how to identify which departments would be needed for which projects. So after gathering the details from the client, I hang up and translate the needs for the employees. Essentially explain it in programmer jargon. Half an hour later, I'm done with the sheet and I have checked the calculations 3 times. So I email it to the client and I swear not even 2 minutes later, I get a estimate rejected message on the company smartphone I was given. She added a reply stating, "This estimate is not compliable with me." So I respond to it with, "We are sorry to hear that, ma'am. Please enjoy the rest of your day." And then I go about my business. Roughly an hour later, she emails the phone again asking, "Is that all you have to say?" By this point, I realized what she was trying to do and report to my supervisor that Miss Karen was trying to haggle the price. My supervisor calls Karen's phone and asks if she would like to have the estimate resent to her so she can accept, and Karen outright tells her she wants a cheaper price, to which my supervisor tells her The price is non-negotiable and to take it as it is. So Karen uses her signature move of, "Let me speak with your manager." But my supervisor simply informed her that she'd get the same response and just hung up on her. Karen eventually did call back and even showed up to the building to renegotiate the price, but was shot down. She was able to get a meeting with the manager to file a complaint for poor customer service and unprofessional behavior. My supervisor and I were called in and asked for our side of the exchange. We just gave him the chat log and proof that she rejected the estimate initially sent to her. She had no color in her face after those came out and couldn't even look at him. She was given a blacklist for us and recommended other companies. Well, OP, I guess the customer isn't always right. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.